Bevel cut is basically the same as the first lesson I taught on doing a long cut, but instead of making a surface straight across, okay, or leveling off a surface, now we're going to ease off the corner, okay? So just take my block of wood and I'm going to go at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to go with the grain. I'm going to start beveling that corner. If I go back this way now, I got to be careful or take it easy because I'm actually going against the grain. If you slow down a bit, you can sometimes get away with it. We just got to watch for when your knife starts to dive on you, it will split. So if you get too aggressive, what happens is, and I'll get too aggressive here. Okay, hold on, let me try again. I'll read my grain real quick. All right, this corner, it'll happen. If I get too aggressive, see how it's split? Taking off way too much at one time, okay? This way I shouldn't have any problems. Sometimes get some power going away from you. If you lock your arm, kind of pull the wood and push the knife, you can generate a lot of power that way and take off with quite a bit of material. So if I was to keep on going like that, bevel this corner, you know, bevel all four corners in this square. Eventually I could take this into an octagon. And then after that, you could take it into a 16-sided object, 32-sided object, keep on going like that. And eventually with your bevel cuts, with your knife, you will make something round, okay? So that is the bevel cut for this week. My tool for this week is going to be some sort of sharpening stone. Every once in a while, you're going to have to take your knife to the stone. It's going to get to the point where that edge has become so rounded over that a strop just isn't going to work anymore. One of my favorites is this antique oil stone. This one's really neat because it comes in this cast iron box. And Pike Manufacturing Company, Pike, New Hampshire, USA. And they made a lot of whetstone. I'm gonna lubricate this stone with just regular old 3-in-1 oil with my little oiler here. Get that around. The good thing about being in a box like this, especially with a pocket knife, is that with it elevated, it's easier to have this stone anywhere on your bench, whatever is comfortable for you. What I usually like to do is the same way I use the strop with the edge trailing, and I'll do the same thing. I will go 10 strokes this way, 10 strokes back this way, 9 strokes this way, 9 strokes back this way, 8, 7. And then when I get to 1 though, I'll go back and forth with that like a half dozen times. And it's the same thing last week when I was talking about stropping is taking that wire burr and you're moving it back and forth until eventually it breaks off, okay? All right, so this is the antique oil stone. And they still sell these today. It doesn't necessarily have to be an antique. Dan's Whetstone is a good manufacturer of these today. Another good option is to use a diamond stone. And this one is a double-sided diamond stone where you have 400 grit on this side and 1,000 grit on this side, okay? This will become a good one-tool option for sharpening later on when we start getting into sharpening plane blades, sharpening chisels, and some of the other woodworking edge tools that we're going to use. With these, what I like to typically lubricate them with is some sort of glass cleaner. So I'll lubricate with that get that, and same thing, same way. In fact, but now since the stone is so low, I got to get kind of towards the edge of my bench so I can get at it. Okay. When we start using the honing guide and sharpening the plane irons and chisels, you'll see that a diamond stone is probably a much better solution than an oil stone is. The thing about diamond stones is that they tend to stay flat for their whole life. With an oil stone, it takes a while, but it will go out of flat on you, and you're gonna have to come up with some way to flatten that oil stone. And usually what we use, quite frankly, is a diamond stone to flatten the oil stone. So for sharpening pocket knives, what I've seen lately, or what me and my sons have liked to do lately, is we go out and get 600 grit wet or dry sandpaper. So 600 grit wet or dry sandpaper, and we make a little tool that looks like this, where the sandpaper goes on this side, and I have a slot right here that we cut into this, and put this 2 sheets of sandpaper in there just so you have a spare. And then with that slot there, you can take this sandpaper and you can hold that back with your thumb. Okay? And from there, I can use that to sharpen my knife. All right? And the same thing applies. Going back and forth, even number of strokes. So use the sandpaper now to repair that edge. And when I flip it over, now I have my strop to hone that edge. And this is great because this is nice and light. This is just a block of cherry that has a shaped handle. We wrapped some number 24 bank line around it and glued a piece of leather on one side, cut that slot, and to be able to hold sandpaper on the other. And it makes it real nice because when the sandpaper gets used up, it's easy to swap out. Okay, but I think this will be one of the projects we'll do on this channel. And eventually we can go over a few more tools that we need, and then we'll come back to this and actually make one of these. Thanks for all the support I've been getting. Please like and subscribe. Appreciate all the feedback I've been getting, and we'll see you in the next video.